Hello, everyone. Happy to be here. I don't know if you can hear me properly. I hope that yes, that everything works fine. Let's give a couple minutes more. Maybe someone else will want to join in the meantime. Always someone is late. Thank you very much for joining, by the way. I'm very glad that you decided to show up. Okay, let me just share the screen. Okay, let's go. Today we're gonna talk about robotic process automation. I'm gonna briefly show you step by step what it is, how it works, and how to implement it in a business, and how beneficial it can be for businesses. I will also show some examples. I prepared 2 examples that I will show at the end of the video. I think it's worth it to wait and have a look at the videos because they are quite interesting to see how a program like this works in practical environment. This webinar will be available online later on, probably the same link. If not, I will be sharing this link in my social media, so feel free to contact me if you will not be able to find it. You can see the contacting details on the bottom, where you can see the link to the website and also the email address that you can contact me directly. And if there will be any questions, I will be answering them at the end of the video. Okay, my name is Mariusz, and I am engineer, and I'm also working as a RPA developer for past couple of years. At the same time, I am a certified Scrum Master. Been working mostly with softwares like UiPath. That's the software that I'm strongest, but I'm also familiar with Automation Studio, which is the second software that I'm pretty good at. But these examples today will be all shown on UiPath software. At the moment, I'm working for a company, consulting RPA. Again, you can find the link in the description below. The company focuses on problem understandings, providing solutions, automation implementation, assistance, and maintenance. If you will need any problems, like probably at this moment, it doesn't tells you much because, but if you will have any problems with automations or you will need to automate some processes in the future, you can contact us directly, and we will try to understand your problem as much as possible. We will understand if this problem is possible to use automation processes for your problems, for your software, for the task that you are doing. If yes, we'll provide the solution, we'll implement it, and of course, obviously, we'll assist you with full instruction how to use the software. So the solution would be just plug and play. Just gonna need to click couple of things and run your processes. And obviously, we are providing maintenance of if there will be any issues or errors or any updates. So quickly, I will briefly answer what's gonna be the topic, what we're gonna talk about in today's webinar. First of all, I will explain you a little bit more what is RPA, Robotic Process Automation. I will explain you how it works, and I will tell you a couple of benefits, why it is helpful for your business, why it's useful for your business, and how beneficial it can be to implement this kind of softwares. And in the end, I will show you some examples which are pretty practical, and I think they show how the software works in a very nice way. So you will have full understanding of what we are going to cover today. Basically, RPA is an application which creates robots which are assisting or fully replacing human. So, for example, you can use some bots. You probably saw some bots, for example, on chat that are assisting during some kind of conversations. When you are talking with a customer service or something, instead of person, first of all, you're talking with some robots that are trying to guide you through some kind of questions, and maybe they are even able to answer some questions, so you don't have to talk with a real person. So there are two kinds of robots, attended and unattended robot. Attended robot will be a robot that needs some cooperation with human. So, for example, a human being has some task at work that are partially repetitive and they can be automated, but there are some parts where you have to make some decisions. And unfortunately, the robot at this stage cannot make complicated decisions, but when the task is repetitive, it can very quickly replace your job, do it much faster. The other type of robot is unattended robot, which is working without any help of human being. You can just give in the process and it will be doing this on daily basis using some triggers, or you can run it wherever you need it. So RPA is just a software, it's an application which allows to build this kind of robots. I will quickly answer the question, like, what does it do? So first of all, maybe not first of all, starting from the top, you can read and write data to database, which is very useful, and probably most of the time this is used the most. Later on, you can send emails, which is also very helpful. So every time when the task is finished, you can use the robot to send you confirmation email that the job has been completed, or if there is any updates during the job, you can tell the robot, you can ask the robot to send you emails like what has changed, what has happened. It can scrape data from web. So, for example, in the second example of my video that I will be showing in the end, I will show you a program that at least is looking for apartments, and based on the criteria or the filters that you create, it will list you all the apartments that are available. So basically all the apartments that are interesting for you, and it will send you this information to your email. And every time when the price will change of the apartment price will change, and the robot will inform you. So you will be informed that something is different, and maybe this position will be interesting for you. Apart from that, you can also extract structured data. You can collect statistics, fill forms, which is also very useful, and I will show you in the video. Log into the different application or websites. You can move files and folders, copy, paste, calculation, and connect to system API. There is much more that RPA is doing, but I don't have enough space to show all the benefits and the advantages of the software. I will show you most of these things that are listed here, which will be very beneficial for you to understand how it looks in practical environment. So we understand that customer wants three major things. Definitely simplicity. Robots are working, most of the time robot can work without any cooperation with human, which helps because you can focus on different different tasks that are more beneficial for you. It's very easy to use it because there are a couple of ways to run the robot. You can do it manually, or you can use triggers, which, for example, will run the process twice a day on set hours, which doesn't need your involvement in the process. The second thing is the performance. The robots are very quick. Based on the example that I will show you in the first video, you will see that in this process, we will be getting data from invoices. I will have 200 invoices where you have to read all the data from the invoices. You have to type it into Excel file, and later on, you are sending this data through email and insert this data into a website. 200 invoices in less than 50 minutes, which is quite impressive. I don't know how to do it. Like, I don't know anyone who is able to do the same task. And obviously, customers are looking for cost. Robot automation is very cost effective. It is probably way cheaper than having human on board. If you have someone that needs to do a repetitive job in Excel, definitely the robot can work much faster, much cheaper, considering that it can also work 24 hours, 7 days a week, which drops the cost to very little amounts. How does it work? Normally, the process looks like that you have to record a video of the task that you want to automate. It's pretty simple to record a video. It shows step by step how the process looks like. Recording a video is a very good way of explaining us how the process works because you cannot miss any part. When we're having conversation on the phone, for example, or through the emails, it's difficult to explain everything because you can miss some parts. Like, for example, you have to check some box, or you have to type something or do something that you forgot to explain in email. It's very easy to avoid to miss this kind of things and skip it, and it can affect the way the robot works. It's basically more difficult for us to implement this kind of robot into your system. After recording this video, you just can send it to us, and this is where the magic happens. We are taking care of everything. Since the video is more than efficient for us, probably you will need some access to the software that you are using, so you can give us access as collaborators, and we can use your softwares in the meantime. But you don't have to worry about anything else because everything that happens in the backstage is on us, and we are solving all of this based on the video that you can provide to us. And the last step is to enjoy your ready-to-go solution. So basically, it depends what you will want. You can just use your software by turning it on a couple days a week, or you can just use it as on triggers, which will be completely working in the background, and you don't have to do basically anything, and the job will be done in the meantime. You can focus on tasks that are more important for you and are more beneficial for your business. Here I listed a couple of benefits of robotic process automation. For example, it's accuracy, reliability, consistency, improve employee morale, and productivity. I will quickly go step by step through all these benefits. There is obviously much more of them, but listing them will take a lot of time. But you will see based on these ideas, you will see how beneficial it can be for your business, how useful it is. So when it comes to productivity, you can use the robot 24 days, 7 days a week, which is quite useful because when you hire a person, normally a person work 40 hours a week, unless they're doing some overtime, which is probably not required in most of the companies. Maybe not required, but it's not paid in many companies. Robot do not ask you for extra money. It will work 24 hours per 7 and do the task according to your needs. The robot is definitely much more efficient. As you will see in the video that I have prepared, the robot doesn't hesitate, doesn't take any breaks. It will just go on and keep doing the same job until it finishes. Which goes to the third point, doesn't take breaks. The robot keep going. If the task is finished, you can use this robot, the same robot, to do another task in the meantime. So it is very important to know that the robot doesn't have to do one task. It can do a couple of tasks in the parallel. I will show you that in one of the video later on, that it can do two things at the same time. And it's also cheaper, which I talked about previously. The robot do not make mistakes, which is very useful. And normally, when the jobs are repetitive, humans are very likely to make mistakes. So, for example, when you copy and paste data from PDF to Excel file or something, it's not a very difficult job, but when you do it like 1,000 times or you do it like every day, it starts to be boring. People start losing focus and they just can copy and paste the data into the wrong cell. And this is where the problems appears. The robot doesn't have this problem. It already knows where to copy, from where to copy to where, and never make mistakes. It will never copy paste files or information into the wrong location, which is very important. It's error free. Which is super important for this kind of task. The errors can only appear if there will be some issue on company side. So, for example, if you are copying some files from a folder and there are missing folders and something unexpected happens, the error can appear, obviously. Most of the time, the robot will not be able to understand where the problem is. However, you can teach the robot to tell you information. Okay, I have problem with this file, and I will try to go back to it later on. But if it's not going to be able to complete the task anyway, it will just send you the full error summary, which is super useful. You can get at the end of the day, you can get some information that okay, this is where I had error with. Can you have a look? And so basically, the robot can ask you for the assistance. Consistency. The robot is super fast with repetitive tasks. It's definitely much faster than people, and you will see that in the video that I have prepared. It's always working it can work based on schedules. So like I said before, you can type that, for example, you want to check your system twice a day, let's say 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. And every time during these hours, the robot will continue working on the task that you ask him to do, work on the automation system that you want to automate. It's very useful because when you want to do it with a human, with a person, it's not always working so perfectly. Most of the time, people are having other unexpected situations. They have to go for a meeting or something, and the task cannot be completed during the day. You don't have this problem with robot. The robot is always ready to work. So, for example, you will want to start the robot at 10 p.m. Normally, people are not working during these hours. However, you can run the robot and go to sleep or watch a movie or something. And in the meantime, your tasks are being completed, which is super important. If you have tasks to do and you are finishing this, you are doing this task on different hours, different days. It's very, very, very useful. And in the meantime, you can do something that is more beneficial for you, for your private or work life. Definitely, it can improve morals. People do not like to do repetitive job. People do not like to feel like robots. They do not like to work with Excel. They like to work with Excel, but they do not like to copy paste just data that they don't understand. And this is where they most likely they doing mistakes. With running the robot, you can do variety of different tasks in the meantime. So for example, instead of copying data or scraping data from website or filling the forms, you can start looking for customers, or you can go for important meeting that it's more beneficial for your company, or you can start thinking about how to pay less for deliveries tax or other instances. And there will be no errors. Like I said before, when it comes to repetitive tasks, people are very likely to make errors, like just copying, pasting to wrong table, or variety of different errors that happens on daily basis in many companies. With robot, you can limit the amount of errors that appears, or you can completely remove them from your daily issues. Maybe you can, if you program the robot in the right way, you can make it in a way that it will be completely error-free. Accuracy. Like I said before, it's completely error-free. There will be no mistakes. The program is very repetitive, and there is no any unexpected situations that occurred during the process. It will be completely error-free, and there will be no mistakes that will happen. It's very unlikely that, I mean, the program is always the same. The program is always the same. So the job that you are doing, that you are providing, the job is repetitive. It has the same files, the same works on the same data. It will not proceed any errors, any extra errors. It works very fast, which is very important, and you will see that in the next video. And obviously, it saves a lot of time, which translates into money. The time that you can use for other jobs that are more important. In this picture, in this graphic, I have listed a couple of pros and cons when it comes to comparison between human being and robot. On the left-hand side, the pros of the human are that it can make decisions, something that is definitely much better than robot. Unfortunately, the robot is not able to handle any unexpected situation or make any decisions. This is where the human needs to help, needs to assist. And also the human can handle unexpected situation. Like I said before, you can use the robot for most of the tasks that are repetitive and can be automated. But there are the tasks where you need to make some decisions. So you can use the robot to just partially automate the process that you want to automate. So for example, the human has to make some decision, for example, which data set should be checked at the moment. You can type some data, you can click some features to direct the robot where to go. But when it comes to all these repetitive tasks, in the meantime, the robot will take care of it. The cons of human are that people are working and they change the work pace. They work in different speed, depends on a variety of factors. It can be from weather, it can be on the mood that you're having today, the problems at work, or any other daily issues that we are having. Robot doesn't have this problem. Robot always works with the same efficiency. The human makes errors. It's very likely that with repetitive tasks, you will make a lot of errors. And at the same time, you can have the issue that your employee will change the workplace, which is also quite problematic for the company, since you have to firstly find a new person, you have to teach this person how to work, you have to give them some time to understand the company structure and how to how to work. It takes time. It normally takes at least couple of weeks for a person to adjust, and you cannot be sure if this person will want to stay in your company or will go to other place. And this way we can go to the right hand side where we have pros of the robot. It's definitely much cheaper, considering that the license is probably cheaper than most of the salaries, depending on the country. But it can also work 24 hours, 7 days a week, which is super useful because the amount of money that you pay per hour drops a lot comparing to what you were paying to the human. Like I said before, human most of the time employees most of the time they work 40 hours a week. Your robot can work 24/7, which gives much more hours during the week where it is available. And it also works with the same work pace, which is super beneficial. It will never take break. If you expect this robot to do the job quickly, it will do it as fast as possible. Definitely much faster than any human possibly can. The biggest problems with robots, the cons of them, are that they cannot make decisions, and at the same time they cannot handle unexpected situations. It can be solved in very easy way, that the task where the parts of the job where the robot has to make decision, it can simply ask for the assistance of human, and the human will come to the computer and will guide the robot guide the robot to tell him what to do next. However, if you want your robot to be working fully in the background, it will never make a decision for you. So if you will ask him, for example, what kind of color of the brand you want, it will not make this decision, like what the customer wants. But it can predict some feature, like for example, it can tell you based on the data that you have, it can tell you if your customer is likely to buy your product. If the customer bought something in the past, it can tell you that based on the history, the transaction history, it can tell you that this person is very likely to buy something. So it can give you some advices who you should try to offer your services to, which is quite interesting. At the same time, it can give you some rates of the emails that you're receiving. For example, you're getting many emails. Everyone is getting nowadays a lot of emails. It can give you the feedback. It can tell you if this email that you received is important, less important, or is completely not important. So it can give you some labels to every email and tell you what's important or not. But it will never make the decision for you. For example, the good example is the bot with the chat, whereas where when you ask for some question, you have some issue, the robot will give you some list of possibly answers, but in the end it will ask you like, did I answer your question? If not, it will simply send you to one of the employees from customer service, and this person will continue with your issue further. I would like to show you one of these examples that I prepared. In this example, you can see invoice. On the left-hand side, you can see an invoice. There is 200 invoices like this prepared for this task. From each invoice, the robot will be reading the data as shown on the picture. All this data will be sent to Excel file and stored there. And in number 4 and 5, you can see that from this Excel spreadsheet, the data will be sent on email, and at the same time, it will be filled in the form on the website. These two tasks are happening simultaneously. This is the example where you can do some tasks in parallel, so you can save even more time, something that human probably cannot do at all. You cannot do two tasks at the same time and be fully focused on them. I will show you the example of how to do it with the robot. Let me just run the video and I will show you step by step how it works. As you could see in the video, it goes pretty fast with all the data from the invoice. I didn't show like all of them because it takes 15 minutes to proceed all the data from the invoices. However, it took less than 50 minutes to complete all the tasks. You could see that it read all the data from the invoices, put into the Excel file, and sent emails and filled the forms at the same time. Something that happens very quickly, and probably no one is possible to do the same tasks so quick as this robot. Let me show you another example where we will be scraping data from the website. This is a website where apartments are listed. Based on the criteria, the robot will be firstly will log into the website, will create filters you will see them on the left-hand side. Based on these filters, it will look for the apartment. So for example, we'll check the price, we'll check how many rooms there is, if there is air conditioning and all this stuff. And it will insert all this data into Excel file. And if there will be listings that already been there, it will not add them. It will just check the price of the listing in the previous run, and will check if the price dropped. If yes, it will give you information that yes, the price has changed. It has raised by, I don't know, 10,000, and it's more expensive. However, if it drops, it will also inform you about it, so you can learn that someone is willing to sell the apartments. Maybe it's important for them to sell the apartment at the moment. So this way you can find some interesting listings and maybe occasions. Let me run the video. As you can see, you can run the robot from icon, which is very useful, but you can also do it with the triggers. It has login to the website, and now it creates all the filters according to the criteria that I set. It's gonna get data from the website, and in the end, it will send you the full review of the files in the Excel file. It's only 10 listings here, but you can do much more. Thank you very much for your time. You can contact me using the website, as you can see on the picture. You can use the email address or Telegram, which is also very handy. If you will have any questions, I hope you will have great understanding of RPA systems at the moment. As you can see, it can be very useful for a variety of different tasks and automate many processes that are repetitive, and also can help a lot of employees to do their task much faster and much more efficient. Okay, let me just have a look if there are any questions. Do you have any questions? I hope that explanation today was good enough, so you have understanding how processes like this can work. I am happy to answer some questions if something was difficult for you to understand, or is you didn't understand at all. I'm happy to answer this question at the moment. So if you would like to ask me some questions, feel free to do so. I will give it 1 minute more. Do not hesitate. Do not be scared. Do not feel fear to ask me any question. Thank you very much. Thank you for being here. I'm very glad that you decided to join this webinar. I do not see that there is many questions. So once again, thank you very much for watching this video. If you want to learn more, you can contact me using the email address that you could see previously. I will just quickly show it again. Let's just jump at the end. Like I said, if you are willing to contact me, please do so using the website, email address on Telegram. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching and for your time, and see you in the future. Thank you very much.